And we back. Morning, good morning, good morning. It's one of those days. Kind of chilly, kind of windy out here. But, we keep marching on, get influenced and inspired by the beautiful weather, whatever it brings. There's energy in everything. There's meaning in everything. And there's nothing in everything. But yeah, guys, I wanted to talk about something that I was thinking about yesterday. And basically the last couple of videos where it's been discussed, where we're going, what are we doing, things like that. Being addicted to pleasures, earthly pleasures. So what does this mean? I wouldn't say always, but basically attached to feeling good all the time. I want to feel good. I want to numb some responsibility. I want to numb some emotions, right? That's why people overeat. People, drink a lot. People, we all do it. We drink, some people smoke. Some people, are addicted to entertainment. It's numbing emotions you don't want to face. Oh, now I remember. Now the reason why I'm saying this is because I came across a quote yesterday that really, really opened it up. So I was kind of like, yeah, like this is what we're gonna talk about. It was like this very simple quote, but it was meaningful. And as I talk, I'm gonna remember what the quote is. So the quote is, it's having to do with when you're detached from your pleasures. When you're detached from your pleasures, the emotions that come up are the ones you are masking and avoiding to confront. So it's like, at a subconscious level, if you're not being distracted, entertained, doing things to feel good, like eating certain foods, drinking, in certain environments with certain people, having these activities that bring you to a high vibration synthetically, you're masking, you're avoiding certain emotions that you don't want to confront. And it might be some profound things for some, it might be some simple ones for some. But there was never no need to do these things when we were born, right? All we wanted was some milk from our mama. We wanted some milk. We wanted, to be held sometimes. We wanted to be caressed. I mean, we're babies, right? We have minimal desires, like to eat and poop, but that was pretty much it, right? And of course, to be loved by our moms. And we, as we get older, we experience things, we see things, we're learning about this world, and next thing you know, it's like, all right, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with that. Ooh, if I engage and indulge in this, I don't have to think about this. And if I am focused on doing all these other things, I don't have to deal with this. And what happens as we get older, we have these issues when certain scenarios pop up. We have these blockers. We have these attitudes, emotional outbursts that appear in other ways because it's suppressed on the other end. I don't know if that makes sense. I could probably come up with a better example, but since this pipe is being clogged and covered up, it's gonna come out through some other pipe, right? So it's like saying it's like you're not attaining to your fitness, and because you're not attaining to your fitness, you're not being responsible with it. What you're suppressing there is coming out in your work, for example, or in your relationship with your girl, for example, right? So if you cap it on one end, it's going to come out in the other end. So we indulge in these pleasures to master certain things, and guess whose fault it is? It's ours, because we lack control to stop these pleasures. We lack discipline to minimize and limit these pleasures of whatever it is. Again, it can be anything. Certain people gravitate to certain things, and the reality is, when it comes to these things, is that we choose it because it gives us the right amount of hit of the escape, just the right amount, and we can always go back to it. But what happens is we want a little bit more. We want a little bit more. And when you people chase pleasure to avoid pain. That's what it is, right? So you're avoiding pain by chasing pleasure. And again, it's the pleasures you're attached to are because of the emotions you don't want to face. And for example, go on a fast, go on a diet, do these things. What's going to happen is all those things are going to come up for you. You're going to be in discomfort. You're going to be irritated. You're going to be annoyed. You're going to be in that zone that you don't want to be in, that you don't want to face and make peace with and think about and process and accept. And that's hard for a lot of people. That is hard for a lot of people. There's probably some apologies you have to accept. There's probably some apologies you have to give and say, yeah, I was wrong. And that's the process of growth. That's the process of reality, you know? That straight line that we think this life is, it's not. It's curved. It's sideways. It's alternating. It's alternating between left and right, up and down. And yeah, you know, I've accepted it. And you know, even with what I just said of accepting it, people smoke, people drink, people overeat, people, you know, do certain things because there's things they don't want to accept. You know, that goes for all of us, for sure. And we don't want to accept things. We like our comforts. We love a lack of responsibility. We love safety. That's something that I've noticed too. It's like staying in this zone and doing these things like I'm safe. Yet you don't grow, you don't prosper, you don't elevate. It's like the universe knows. It's like you ain't ready for what you desire. You ain't ready for what you want. You ain't ready for what you vision. You know, you stuck in the safety. You stuck in lack of responsibility. And we're too distracted with these pleasures. And I know for a fact, because I've done it, when you let go of these pleasures, when you let go of the safety, the comfort, when you let go of all of that, it makes room for those things that you're being called for. But it starts with you. It's like, are you willing to detach from your pleasures, right? And this is why at a subconscious level, people who hit the gym, even athletes, for example, they're respected. Other men wear their last names on the back of their shirts. You know, they buy their jerseys because at a subconscious level, they respect their hustle. They respect their grind, their craftsmanship, their dedication to greatness, their dedication to the sport, their affiliation to the team they love, because they know how hard of a sacrificial work they've done to be where they're at. You know, they had to wake up early, stick to their diet, put their workouts in, you know, do all these things, right? So we know that in order to excel, it takes effort, it takes discipline, it takes all these things. It takes letting go of these comforts, these pleasures, minimizing them. They know that. And that's why they land to where they're at. And other men who are stuck in those limos admire those people. They want them to win. Like, win for me, win through me. All these type of mindsets that we suppress, that are at a subconscious level. But again, we're gonna start talking about them, right? So again, the topic of this video was like, are you willing to detach from pleasures and see what comes up for you and allow this to grow you? You know, like people were talking about being a habitual smoker, like, oh, I'm gonna go on break and smoke a cigarette. Or after work, I'm gonna go drink. You don't need to do that. You didn't do that when you were born. You didn't do that as you were a kid. What happened is you experienced some stuff. You know, life happened. You don't know how to process it. And instead of processing it and facing it, you suppress it. And I've done it. I've done it. There's some growth I didn't want to do. There's responsibilities I don't want to take. There's discomfort I didn't want to walk through. You know, it goes like that way for everyone. So to end it here, I think this is going to be a part 1 of many. But I'm glad I was able to shoot this out, and you guys join me for this walk early morning out in the beautiful Mission Bay of the city of San Francisco. Just got off the train, walking to work right now, and yeah. All right, y'all. This is one of them for the books. Hopefully a start of a better series. On to the next. Peace.